Hey everyone, Nubkeks here. Welcome back to the Heroes of the Storm PTR. Actually doing a little bit of post-game commentary here. I played a bunch of Yrel on stream yesterday. Got kind of salty. Didn't have a great time, honestly. So what I wanted to do in today's video was to kind of talk you through some Yrel stuff, talk you through some of the map stuff, and kind of give my thoughts on it, my feedback. There's some parts of the map that I really like, and there's some parts of the map that I really don't like and that definitely need to see some tweaks before it goes live. So yeah, I mean, you know what, let's start off talking about the map. And you see in the early game especially, I'm just kind of messing around, testing some stuff out. Like testing out the Merc camp with Yrel. Not a good idea to solo it. I solo a camp, it takes forever. But yeah, so this is a new map, it's All Track Pass. And there's a few interesting things on this map which I think are pretty cool. One of the things I actually really like are, you see these little ice pits? And there's a few of them around the place, I think, but here in the mid lane they're quite visible above and below that little bridge in the middle, but they're quite cool. Because what they do is they're effectively like, you know, you can't walk through them. It's effectively a wall in terms of a terrain wall. But what it does do is it lets vision go over it. So it's kind of a neat little thing, you know? We don't really see that many holes just randomly in the middle of maps, randomly in the middle of lanes. So I thought that was one thing that's quite nice about it. You can see here as well, you know, something Artanis is going to struggle with against an Yrel, which is, you know, she's got a knockback. It's very easy to hit that on him in his dash. I missed the first one, hit the second one. So making sure to hit that second one, make sure to catch him off the dash. So it was good that we did, which is quite nice. But yeah, I mean, like, one thing I was kind of looking to do in a couple of games as Yrel, definitely, was to do some ganks over these little ice pools, but you know, it's not really a very good gank. I kind of noticed this paladin with the giant hammer, suddenly these glowing wings sprout from her back. It was like, I wonder what's coming. Maybe we should be careful. So it doesn't work out too well. So yeah, that's one little thing I really like. We have these mud pits. You can see that just below me, kind of underneath the mini-map almost there. The mud pits slow you down more the longer you're in them. To be honest, haven't really noticed that in my games at all. I mean, a few people on the videos are commenting going, hey, you didn't talk about the mud pits. To be honest, haven't seen much worth talking about with them. In terms of Yrel doing Merc camps, I don't know what's the most efficient way of doing it. I mean, I guess maybe it doesn't matter. All of your spells have the same cast time. So whether you use your trait on your W or your Q, I don't think it really matters. Your E, you can just cast instantly, charging that up when he gives it range. Charging up the W or Q gives you more damage. I mean, potentially as well, doing the Merc camp, you might only want to use like only your Q, only your W. I don't really know. It'll depend what heroes you have with you as well. But I mean, you can see there we burn through like all of our mana. It's pretty intense. We're coming into the objective. This is the part of the map that I think definitely needs the most work. One thing I'll say before I talk about that is it's spawning in. I will say as well that the art is absolutely gorgeous. The map looks amazing, so I'm a huge fan of that. Also a huge fan of how we have a Warcraft map. You know, we have a lot of maps. It's one of the things I've always felt is a little bit lacking in the game, is just no Warcraft map, especially when we had so many maps like Sky Temple, Cursed Hollow, which could easily fit into a Warcraft universe, but actually weren't part of it. So that's a little bit of a bummer. So I'm not actually participating in this objective yet. We've got a Sylvanas down here, so there's no real reason for me to leave. Just gonna poke her with a little bit of damage. You can see for Yrel, you know, a lot of her damage is AoE, or it's control. So she's got really good wave clear, but in terms of her single target damage against heroes, it's pretty low. You know, you're not gonna be solo killing anyone, you know, too much. It's not gonna be a very big surprise when they see you coming. You know, they have plenty of time to react. It's just kind of like Blaze in that sense, I think. You know, good presence in the lane, but, you know, not going to do too much in terms of damage. Right here, I'm just trying to stand in that choke point. Try just get these guys stuck so that, you know, just zone off for that diva a little bit. Just help us get a little bit more of a charge on the point. Let's talk about the objective. Seeing as, you know, it's filling up now, I think we're going to be seeing this objective complete relatively soon. So let's talk about it. What's good about it? What's bad about it? So I think the objective is a cool idea, but it's just way overtuned, right? At the moment, it's just way too strong. Basically, you fill up the objective, both teams can charge the thing at the same time, you can deny the charge, you can recapture it, all the rest, and you know, it counts down. It takes longer each time the objective gets captured for both teams. And once it's full, you know, there's a bit of a wind up, but much like Tomb of the Spider Queen, really, that's the best example. And then they walk down each lane, these the cavalry dudes. The thing is, they do an absolutely absurd amount of damage. They just have so much HP. Like, these guys are insanely tanky. And they will absolutely destroy your lane. They'll just tear through it. Like, watch this now. Okay, so right now, it's basically like 7 and a little bit to 7. You know, it's pretty damn even. Like, we got a little bit of bonus XP here, you know, winning the objective. All right, great. It seems pretty reasonable. Here come the objectives. Now watch this. Bear in mind now, we haven't done any real structural damage to the enemy structures yet at all. So they're all fully healthy. Let's just see how much damage this does. And let's watch Hanzo, who some pretty good damage output himself, beat against this thing. Now, unfortunately, I've got no mana, so I went back to tap. Might have been better, honestly, just go and push. But you can see, this dude, he's being shot by 2 towers and a Hanzo right now. That's 2 towers and a Hanzo. Look how tanky that thing is. And now I'm here as well, just being annoying for this Hanzo as well. It buffs up, I don't believe it buffs your minions, but it definitely buffs heroes that are near it. So you can see their move speed goes, it just skyrockets, it goes so high. And here we go, there's a giant minion wave building up with this thing as well, because it's just, it's tanking everything. It's just tanking everything. We're just beating on this Hanzo as well. We've been able to drive him off, basically. You can have some fun with this this ability. Unfortunately, he did have enough. I wasn't sure, I don't play enough Hanzo. I wasn't sure if he can use his, it costs mana to use that or not. But there you go. Okay, so the objective is just about dead. So up top lane, it managed with me. We destroyed 2 towers and built up a big minion wave. We're onto the fort. It's going to drop. Bot lane, it destroyed all the towers and the fort, destroyed everything. Can't see what it did in mid lane. And we're way up on XP. And to be honest, this is the weakest I've ever seen this objective go. Like, seriously, this is the worst I've ever seen this objective be. It's normally even more devastating. Like, the enemy team is Hanzo, they've got Sylvanas, they have Yrel as well. So, I mean, they've got pretty good defenses. Brightwing's not too shabby against this sort of thing. So they've got pretty good defenses against, you know, against, oh yeah, knock her back, awesome. Against this push, but it's just it did an absolutely devastating amount of damage. And it's just so difficult to do. It just has so much HP. So I think when they tone it down, it's going to be much more reasonable. At the moment, it feels a little, it feels a little bit too strong. This is by far my favorite heroic with Yrel as well. I really like this one, this Sacred Ground. You just throw it down, it lasts forever until you walk out of it. But if they don't have any big displacements, I mean, you can really just stand in that thing for ages and you can do some awesome stuff in the team fight. 40 armor is what it gives you, which is a very large amount. I'm not sure off the top of my head, but it's pretty comparable to Garrosh on even very low life, you know, the amount of armor. Just imagine how tanky Garrosh gets. That's kind of how tanky Yrel is when she's in that Sacred Ground. So yeah, it's very scary indeed. One thing I'm interested to find out as well is whether Hanzo can jump over those ice pits. I presume he can't, but I don't know for sure. But yeah, I love this heroic. It also has a very short cooldown, so like on a map like this where you can control points, anywhere where there's going to be a fairly set team fight, where you're going to be zoning, anything like that, yeah, it's going to be super good. I mean, these matches I feel on the PTR being fairly chaotic. I feel like in the more structured matches that you see in Hero League, for example, that it's going to be even better, to be honest. Her other one is kind of like a glorified Medivh shield. It's pretty good, but it's a 100-second cooldown. I just don't see it being as useful as Sacred Ground. And the really cool thing about Sacred Ground as well is that the cooldown starts ticking while you're standing in it. So you could potentially stand in it on an objective for ages. Eventually, when you jump out, you might only have, you know, you could even have it right back up again, or you could have it back up on a very short cooldown. Or even just a moderate cool, I mean 40 seconds, honestly it's a short cooldown even if you walk out of it straight away. It's pretty awesome. So for example right here, okay great, we're coming in to do this objective, throwing down that Sacred Ground and kind of going, alright, you wanna fight me here? Well, good luck, right? Good luck. I'm able to just stand on this and feeling very confident I can zone these guys out, so I'm able to walk forward, just hit those guys with that, and you know, the damage is just not going to do much. Now Emerald Wind pushes us out and then it gets a little bit scary. But you see what I mean? Like, it's nothing to fear, right? It just gives you so much control. And unless they have displacement, you're pretty good. I think one of Yrel's weaknesses, it combats one of her weaknesses, which is CC. She's very she's very tanky if she can get her abilities off, but once you start CCing her, then she's kind of a bit. So you can see right there. So right there, we were zoning them off with our heroic, and we're able to move in right now and slow these guys down. We can drop our heroic as well, and we just don't have any fear. I'm able to stand in front here and just tank for ages. It's great. Jump over the wall with our level 7 talent, pop an instant shark, and just GTFO, just GTFO. So here we go. Second objective. So this is the thing with this map, right? First objective. Like number one, if you get an early lead, like if you have a better laning team, or if the enemy team makes like one big mistake in the early game, you get like a talent tier advantage, you probably get that first objective. That probably gets you like another talent tier advantage, and a lot of structures down as well. And you'll probably be so far ahead that you're gonna easily get the next objective, and let's see how this one does. So this is, bear in mind, only the second objective in this game. We're only 10 minutes into it. We're only 10 minutes in, and yeah, we'll see just what we can do with it. You can see here, again, I can just jump in, dropping that sacred ground. I know if they try to focus me, not a big deal, I could just tank it all. If we're just tanking this all, we don't even care. I mean, we're just full HP. They can't do anything. Brightwing trying to Hearthstone, we're gonna stop her. But yeah, this is, I kind of go for this build with Yrel, which is this, it kind of builds into this idea of this kind of consistent tank. So I'm going full all-out healing, essentially. So I get healing at level 1, so every time we use a basic ability, it makes our next basic attack heal us for a big chunk. I get healing at 4, so whenever we use our traits, it heals one of our allies nearby. Level 7, I like the movement speed. I think it's great for double soaking, though it isn't really that relevant on this map, to be honest. The objective is so strong. Like, look at these other lanes, by the way. That mid fort just destroyed. The top keep is even being focused down. And probably will take some damage from this objective as well. But it's also the minion waves it builds up. That's one of the most dangerous things, because it just absorbs so much damage. It kind of functions like a bruiser camp. Level 10 then, Sacred Ground, of course, with Yrel. Then 13, what is it at 13? You know, I don't quite remember. Oh, actually I do remember. It's Spell Power, which makes all of your heals do even more, which is fantastic. And then 16, it's whatever we picked up. Oh, it reduces the cooldown of your trait whenever you use an ability. So that's awesome. Means, you know, more free abilities, which is effective in the team fight. The Spell Power, you have to do a fully charged ability on a hero to get a stack of Spell Power. Well, if your trait's up more often, you can get that up much more consistently. Procs at level 4 for more healing. The more you get more healing from the level 13 talent. So there's really nice synergies, I feel, with it. Again, the weakness is if you get, you know, CC'd and focused, then you're screwed. But, well, not screwed, but I mean, that's your weakness. And we're actually doing a boss. I mean, this is a pretty one-sided game, right? But this is actually probably one of the closest games. I think there's one other game that was close. But apart from that, this is the closest game out of, you know, 5 or 6 I've played on the new map so far. And that's the new boss. I mean, it's pretty straightforward, really. He doesn't do too much when you're taking him. He does the ground pound. It's a little bit of a different animation, I would say, than the other guys. He kind of does like a slower build-up, and then he finishes the build-up really quickly. So it can kind of take you by surprise a little bit, which is kind of cool. You see, that's like your typical Yrel engage. I think she's really going to be very much, I would think, a solo lane hero. I don't see her being a main tank. She just doesn't have enough engagement or CC. What she does have really well is that mild engage. So you jump in with your E and you knock someone back with a W. That's going to be super effective when you have, you know, 2 good damage dealers to follow up. Plus, importantly, your tank or support that has good CC. In fact, both, preferably. So you can CC someone, lock them down, and engage a really good team fight. I mean, that's the ideal way to do it. Have that tank jump in, lock down the other target, give you a bit of backup. The support can move forwards, your damage dealers can move forwards. It's going to be really nice. So yeah, that's kind of, I think, what's going on with Yrel there. Alright, we're moving into the third objective, and you can see, like, we're just, the enemy's on the back foot the whole way. They're on the back foot the whole way. They're really, it's so hard at the moment to come back on this map. It's so difficult. So this is nice. We've got ourselves, you know, we set up here. We're kind of zoning these dudes out. It's like, okay, they want to come in and they want to cap their points. Well, I'm just going to stand and control this choke point. Me and Yrel. Yeah, we'll just zone these guys out. Not a big deal. They're going to be a little bit sneaky. Actually jump out of my my armor, which is a bad call. Not a great idea. Trying to keep this Yrel alive. She's got plenty of energy, so she should hopefully be okay. We can stun these guys as well, knock them back. You can see we pop that D. It gives her a nice chunky heal. Like, it is noticeable. It is noticeable. It's not messing around, that heal. This is pretty great. Genji comes in, gets some nice damage out. I think Yrel didn't heal herself. She gets picked off by him, which is a bit of a bummer, but not the end of the world. And yeah, dropping down this sacred ground. I'm on the point, and kind of says, "All right, enemies, you wanna take this back? Well, you gotta fight me with 40 armor." I have the same amount of armor as your boss does right now as your core. We'll see the core soon. The core is really cool. It's one of the really awesome things about this. Instead of having the core being a structure, like a supercharged keep, it's actually just, it's like a boss. It's a big dude. He's actually fighting stuff at the moment. Yeah, he's just a big old dude who's got his own abilities. You know, he's got a charge, he's got a whirlwind. It's pretty cool, actually. Hanzo is going to escape. Look at this, the great escape. I love this shark thing, Divine Steed. Like, it's just, I've been running her as with the shark mount, so it's just, I think of it as the shark thing, but Divine Steed is pretty awesome. Bam, we can finish him off with a hammer there. Hanzo does go down in the end. Well, Mr. Testingo's probably going to go down as well. No, it looks like he's alright. He's just fine. Anyway, we can just fight these guys. The level 1 talent is quite important here, and level 4, it's just all the consistent healing. Well, let's see their boss. So their boss is now being attacked by one of the objectives. Right, so one objective forced its way through. Mid lane is going to fall to the mid objective pretty shortly, but you can see like that the boss is just dying, right? He's just dying to that objective. Like, the objective is one of the objectives literally feels stronger than your core. It's actually a little bit bizarre. It's a little bit weird. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so some of the other ones have arrived, and here it goes down. Yeah, we didn't even get to see the core, really. He just got defeated by 1 or 2 lanes of objective there. More than enough to take it out. Very quickly, in fact. But it's a cool idea. That's what I say about this map. I think it's really cool. I think there's great potential for the map. I think it's not balanced super well at the moment. The objective's just too strong, especially the first objective, maybe the second one. But yeah, for most games it kind of feels like you get that first objective and game over, I guess. You just won the game and you're so far ahead, you just can't come back on the enemy team. So hopefully they fix that. I really hope they fix that, because it's a little bit silly. But yeah, that was Yrel. That's All Track Pass. Let me know what you think of the maps. Do you like them? Do you think it looks cool? And yeah, see y'all soon for more. Bye-bye.